Yo, what's poppin'? I'm here continuing my series looking at teams after the kickoff clash and into the midseason madness. Going to number 11 in NA, the New York Excelsior, 1-5 with a -10 map differential. Definitely not the start to the season we wanted from them. I had higher expectations in this because they have some pretty good talent on this roster, right? So New York 3-1 to Glads, 3-0 to Atlanta. They do find their only win against the Vancouver Titans 3-1. They lose to Shock 3-1, Mayhem 3-0, and Toronto 3-1. So a pretty rough schedule for them. They do face Atlanta early in the season who were looking great. Gladiators and Shock, right? So those are three pretty high level teams, especially for the first 2 weeks. But you probably would have liked them to see put up more of a fight against Florida and Toronto, I would say. Uh, because this roster is pretty. It's like looks like it has enough talent that it could really get by. Right? They have Flora, Yaki on DPS, both pretty promising players. Yaki had a lot of hype after his Florida thing. He was playing well. They have their only tank as Kellen because Vulcan's just there to pick up a paycheck and to fulfill the six roster requirement. Really, I don't even think he's with them. Right? He's not even in New York. And Gangnam Jin and Myeongbong with Gangnam Jin going to the main support off of the flex support. And that's a real part of this roster that I'm not a huge fan of. We've seen some players be able to pick it up, like Violet has played an all right main support, but Gangnam Jin's main support has not been very impressive to me. And his flex support was just like I was a huge fan of it. I thought it was really good, and to see him come in and play the main support, it's just not great. I actually might rate his flex support better than Yumbong maybe, but to see him on the main support is really rough. So I did watch their little like mini documentary, No Pressure. They brought in Libero at the start and said he has a new role, but they didn't say what the role is. And of course, there's the whole thing with the captaincy. So maybe he'll be the captain, but maybe he won't be. Maybe he won't be a player. Maybe he will be a player. But regardless, if Libero comes in on DPS, I do not see him as being a key like a game changer. Like Yaki Flora has been very solid. Like Yaki Flora are solid. Maybe Libero enhances their flexibility a bit, but their flexibility struggles in their tank department, not in their DPS department. And I'm not sure if Libero being an addition to this team really helps them too much. Yeah, because the main problem with this team was could only play the Winston comp. They didn't even look that great on it, right? Kellen, inflexible, the only tank on this team, really. And he's the main tank, and we haven't really seen him even try to expand his horizons at all. We've just seen the monkey comp again and again, and it's been all right at best, right? It's been all right. I've seen better from most teams, and that's a real problem whenever you're only going to play one composition. It's different from London, as in like you see them play Rush and they look pretty proficient at it, right? And it's also something that not all the teams were playing, especially at the time. Uh, so it was like a kind of a shock value, and kind of like they could win off of inexperience. But whenever you're playing the Winston comp and you're not even playing it that well, like compared to some of the higher teams, it's going to be worse because everyone knows what to do against it, and you're not even popping off with it. So I don't know. New York definitely has some issues here, and I'd like to see them either get better at the Winston comp somehow or find some flexible options in some way. But with having only 5 players on your roster, there's not a lot of flexibility here. Looking forward at the midseason madness, they play Washington, Paris, London, Dallas, Houston, and Boston. That Paris match, keep an eye on that one. I think either team could find a win here. Uh, Paris has been improving more than New York have, in my opinion. And if they continue to improve as they have, and especially if they continue to play the Zarya comp and look decent at it, I could for sure see them taking this map. They're taking this match. Washington's probably winnable if they catch if New York like struggle a little bit, or if Washington struggle, but rather, because we've seen them have some pretty big like pitfalls in their game and just kind of collapse. I would even say the London one's winnable. Uh, Maybe. Depends on the maps, maybe. But this roster has potential, I think, and I don't see a reason why they should just be considered losable at everything. I would even say that Boston and Houston may be winnable too. Like if they play that well, like they have the potential to get that good, I think, but they just haven't found it. And they did talk about like a lack of early scrim time because they had visa troubles, and maybe there were supposed to be more people on this team. than there were because of visa troubles again. So maybe they get those visa troubles patched up, and maybe those guys find a way in eventually because they've already been working on it or something. I don't know how it works. I do not have a work visa, so yeah. Anyway, New York underperforming, hoping that they can find a way to go to the mid table. I don't see it as much as even Paris. Like I think Paris could outperform these guys just because of how inflexible they are. And Game Engine needs to improve on the main support. I think he's been not great for them. It's sad to see. Maybe they find a way to get them on double flex support or something. But again, if you're only like running the Winston comp, that's not great, right? It's hard. It's hard to justify that. Um, I don't know. So that's it for me. Give this video a like if you like the video. Comment down below your thoughts on the New York Excelsior, how you think they're gonna do, and subscribe to this channel for more daily Overwatch League content. Gonna be 2 videos a day at least until the games start up again. Probably more sometimes. So yeah, deuces, and have yourself a good one.